This is my teaching demonstration. Good morning, class. May I request everyone to please stand for the prayer. Jonah, lead the prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Once again, class, good morning. How are you today? Good. Now, class, may I check your attendance? Very good, class. No one is absent today. This time, we will have a game. Do you like a game, class? Yes, very good. This game is part of our review. The title of the game is called Tell Me Who I Am. I will divide the class into two groups. This will be the group 1 and this will be the group 2. All you have to do is to write in your illustration board the correct pronoun that to complete the thought of the sentence. Am I clear, class? Very good. This will be your illustration board and this is yours. And the time starts now. Check your work. Number 1, what? Number 2, this. Number 3, which. Number 4, that. Number 5, which. Who got the perfect score, class? Okay, group 2, very good. Let us give hands to group 2. This time, class, we will have another activity. I will divide the class into two groups. This will be the group 1 and this will be the group 2. And the time starts now. The winner. Our winner is group 2. Let us give them Indonesia clap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good. How do you find our activity? Yes, joy. Interesting. What else? Ira? Unfairness? Let's see. What do you think is the real message of the picture, class? Okay, it shows poverty, unfairness. Very good. Now, class, let us see the pictures. This picture, the other side, is happy. And we have abundant food to eat. Well, the other side, they are lacking of food. They have nothing to eat. And it shows poverty. Because there's a lot of people who suffer poverty. Well, the other one is having a wealthy living. And now, class, what do you think is our topic for this morning? Very good! Our topic for this morning, it's all about critiquing a short story. Before we proceed, let us first read the objectives. At the end of the session, the students are expected to A. Define critiquing. B. Identify the different guides in critiquing. And C. Critique a short story effectively. This time, class, we are going to read the story of Fish by Jack London. But before that, let us first unlock the difficult words found in the story. All you have to do is to match the word in column A to their definitions in column B. And these are the words. Who wants to answer number 1? Yes, April. Okay, let us check your answer. Very good, April. How about number 2? Yes, Joy. Let us check. Okay, excellent. How about number 3? Yes, Aaron. Let us check your answer. The correct answer for number 3 is H. Very good. How about number 4? Yes, Ryan. Okay, let us check. Excellent. How about number 5? Yes, Juna. Let us check your answer. Very good. How about number 6? Yes, Jovan. Let us check your answer. Very good again. How about number 7? Okay. Jovan again. Yes. Let us check. Very good. How about number 8? May. Okay, let us check your answer. The correct answer is yes, letter J. How about number 9? Who wants to answer? Yes, Rose. Yes, let us check. Very good. Good job, class. How about number 10, the last one? Yes, Ryan. Let us check. Okay. Very good, class. You know the meaning of these words, the difficult words. And now, class, before we proceed to the story, what should a good student do while the teacher is talking in front of you? Yes, Ira. Behave. Very good. How about Joy? Yes, Joy? Silent. Well, silent. Okay. How about... Okay, Aaron, do you have any idea? Listen attentively. Very good. And yes, May, do you have any additional one? Yes, you need to behave. Can I expect those from you, class? Yes, very good. And now, class, you will read the story of Kish by Jack London. I will give you only 15 minutes to read the story, and after that, I will ask you some questions from the story that you read. Am I clear, class? Okay.
The Story of Kish by Jack London. Kish lived at the edge of the polar sea. He had seen 13 suns in a Eskimo way of keeping time. Among the Eskimos, the sun each winter leaves the land in darkness, and the next year a new sun returns, so it might be warm again. The father of Kish had been a brave man, but he had died hunting for food. Kish was his only son. Kish lived along with his mother, Ikiiga. One night, the village council met in the big igloo of Kloskwan, the chief. Kish was there with the others. He listened, then waited for silence. He said, "It is true that you give us some meat, but it is often old and tough meat and has many bones." The hunters were surprised. This was a child speaking against them, a child talking like a grown man. Kish said, "My father, Bok, was a great hunter. It is said that Bok brought home more meat than any of the two best hunters, and that he divided the meat so that all got an equal share." "No, no," the hunters cried. "Put the child out. Send him to bed. He should not talk to gray birds this way." Kish waited until the noise stopped. "You have a wife, Oglok," he said, "and you speak for her. My mother has no one but me, so I speak as I say. Book hunted greatly, but he is now dead. It is only fair, then, that my mother, who was his wife, and I, his son, should have meat when the tribe has meat. I, Kish, son of Bok, have spoken." Again there was a great noise in the igloo. The council ordered Kish to bed. They even talked of giving him no food. Kish jumped to his feet. "Hear me," he cried. "Never shall I speak in the council igloo again. I shall go hunt meat like my father Bok." There was much laughter when Kish spoke of hunting. The laughter followed Kish as he left the council meeting. The next day, Kish started out for the shore, where the land meets the ice. Those who watched saw that he carried his bow and many arrows. Across his shoulder was his father's big hunting spear. Again, there was a laughter. One day passed, then a second. On the third day, a great wind blew. There was no sign of Kish. His mother, Ikiiga, put burnt seal oil on her face to show her sorrow. The women shouted at their men for letting the little boy go. The men made no answer, but got ready to search for the body of Kish. Early next morning, Kish walked into the village. Across his shoulder was fresh meat. Go, you men, with dogs and lead. Follow my footsteps, travel for a day, he said. There is much meat on the ice, a shell bear and here 2 cubs. His mother was very happy. Kish, trying to be a man, said to her, Come, Ikiiga, let us eat, and after that I shall sleep, for I am tired. There was much talk after Kish went to his igloo. The killing of a bear was dangerous, but it was 3 times more dangerous to kill a mother bear with cubs. The men did not believe Kish had done so, but the women pointed to the fresh meat, and at last the men agreed to go for the meat that was left. But they were not very happy. One said that even if Kish had killed the bear, he probably had not cut the meat into pieces. But when the men arrived, they found that Kish had not only killed the bear, but had also cut into pieces, just like a grown hunter. So began the mystery of Kish. On his next trip, he killed a young bear, and on the following trip, a large male bear and its meat. Then there was a talk of magic and witchcraft in the village. He hunted with evil spirit, said one. Maybe his father's spirit hunted with him, said another. Kish continued to bring meat to the village. Some people thought he was a great hunter. There was a talk of making him chief after old Kloskwan. They waited, hoping he would come to council meetings, but he never came. I would like to build an igloo, Kish said one day, but I have no time. My job is hunting, so it would be just if the men and women of the village who eat my meat build my igloo. And the igloo was built. It was even bigger than the igloo of the chief of Kloshan. One day, Ogluk talked to Kish. It is said that you hunt with evil spirit, and they help you kill the bear. It's not the meat good? Kish answered. Has anyone in the village yet become sick after eating it? How do you know evil spirits are with me? Or do you say it because I am a good hunter? Oglok had no answer. The council sat up late talking about Kish and the meat. They decided to spy on him. On Kish's next trip, 2 young hunters, Bem and Bound, followed him. After 5 days, they returned. The council met to hear their story. Brothers, Bem said, we followed Kish and he did not see us. The first day he came to a great bear. Kish shouted at the bear loudly. The bear saw him and became angry. It rose high on its legs and growled. But Kish walked up to it. We saw it, Bound, the other hunter said. The bear began to run toward Kish. Kish ran away. But as he ran, he dropped a little round ball on the ice. The bear stopped and smelled the ball, then ate it. Kish continued to run, dropping more balls on the ice. The bear followed and ate the balls. The council members listened to every word. Bim continued to the story. The bear suddenly stood up straight and began to shout in pain. Evil spirit, said Oglok. I do not know, said Bound. I can tell only what my eyes saw. The bear grew weak. Then it sat down and pulled at its own fur with its sharp claws. Kish watched the bear that whole day. For 3 more days, Kish continued to watch the bear. It was getting weaker and weaker. Kish moved carefully up to the bear and pushed his father's spear into it. And then, asked Kloskwan, and then, we left. That afternoon, the council talked and talked. When Kish arrived in the village, the council sent a messenger to ask him to come to the meeting. But Kish said he was tired and hungry. He said his igloo was big and could hold many people. If the council wanted a meeting, Kloswan led the council to the igloo of Kish. Kish was eating, but he welcomed them. Kloswan told Kish that 2 hunters had seen him kill a bear. And then, in a serious voice to Kish, he said, we want to know how you did it. Did you use magic and witchcraft? Kish looked up and smiled. No, Kloswan, I am a boy. I know nothing of magic or witchcraft. But I have found an easy way to kill the ice bear. It is headcraft, not a witchcraft. And will you tell us, O Kish? Kloskwant asked in a shaking voice. I will tell you. It is very simple. Watch. Kish picked up a thin piece of whalebone. The ends were pointed and sharp as a knife. Kish bent the bone into a circle. Suddenly, he let the bone go, and it became straight with a sharp snap. He picked up a piece of seal meat. So, he said, first, make a circle with a sharp thin piece of a whalebone. Put the circle of bone inside some seal meat. Put it in the snow to freeze. The bear eats the ball of meat with a circle of bone inside. Ay, salamat. When the meat gets inside the bear, the meat gets warm, and the bone goes numb. The sharp points make the bear sick. It is easy to kill then. It is simple, Oglok said. Oh, Kloskwan said. Ah. Each said something his own way, and all understood.
Class, what is critic? Yes, Brian. Very good. Critic is you are going to evaluate a text or you are going to critique a story or a text or a piece based on your understanding. Class, do you know that critic has 6 guidelines? We have here number 1. We have here context. Context is the situation in which something happened or what genre it is. In the story of Fish Class, what do you think is the genre of the story? Yes, Joy. Yes, very good. Why do you think so that the genre of the story is adventure? Very good observation, Joy. Because Kish has willingness to hunt bears or polar bears in a wild forest alone, right? Okay, very good. Number 2 guidelines, class, is author's intention. We have here is the author's intention is what the author wants to express to the readers through the text. In the story of Fish Class, what do you think is the author's intention in the story? Yes? Joy? Okay. In the story of Fish Class, the author's intention is to convey that we should not have a bad prejudice to others and that we should not forget others' sacrifices even if we no longer exist. Instead, we should appreciate them for their noble deeds. The 3rd guidelines, class, is your reaction or reaction. What is your reaction upon reading the story of Fish? Okay, anyone, what is your action? Okay, you, May. Okay, very good. Kish really portrayed a great character. He is so brave, wise, that he could kill the polar bears by himself. Very good. The 4th guidelines, class, in critiquing a short story is literary devices. We have here a figure of speech used in the story and their purpose. Can you give me a figure of speech? An example of figure of speech. Okay, Joy. Simile. Yes, Brian. We have metaphor and personification and so on or more. The 5th guidelines, class, in critiquing a short story is literary technique. Literary technique is a figurative language or the techniques that composers use in their written text to help convey or heighten the meaning. What do you think is the literary technique used in the story of Fish? Okay, you have chronological order. Yes, very good. Why did you think so that it is a chronological order? Because the information is in the passage or existed by the time which event occurred, class. Very good observation, class. Now, class, we have the last critique. We have the last guidelines in critiquing a short story. The last guidelines in critiquing a short story, class, is the ending of the story. The ending of the story is what the ending of the story, of course. Class, do you think the ending of the story of Kish resolved the plot, brought closure to the crisis of the character? If yes, did the ending of the story of Kish resolve the plot, brought closure to the crisis in the character or the character? Yes, very good. Because Kish became a young professional hunter in their village, and every time he got the meat, he distributed fairly and equally to the people that he understand our 6 guidelines, class? Okay, let us check if you really understand our topic for today. What do you think is our topic for this morning, class? Okay, it is critiquing a short story. What are the 6 guidelines in critiquing a story? Okay, we have a context. We have your reaction. We have the author's intention. We have the literary devices, the literary techniques, and the ending of the story. That are the 6 guidelines in critiquing a short story. This time, class, we have another activity. With the same group, we are going to critique a short story about the lion and the boar using the 6 guidelines in critiquing a short story. And this is the criteria. We have content, we have 50%. The presentation, we have 25%. And teamwork, we have 25%. And the total of 100%. I will give you only 15 minutes to do the task. And after that, you will present it in front. Am I clear, class? Very good. Yes, Jonah. Yes, very good. In order for us to know and to learn how to use the 6 guidelines, in order for us to get the attention of the reader. Very good, class. That's it. Okay, class, do you have any clarifications, questions regarding to our discussion for this morning? If none, get 1/4 sheet of paper, then answer these directions. Identify the 6 guidelines in the following. We have number 1, it is how the story ends. Number 2, a technique that the writer or the authors use in their written text to help convey or hidden meaning. Number 3, we have this is the emotions or of the readers in reading the literary text or piece. Number 4, we have it is what the author trying to accomplish in the story or express to the readers. And we have last, number 5, it is a situation in which something happens or what genre it is. Am I clear? Okay, class, very good. Okay, now let us check your work. We have here number 1. The correct answer is ending of the story. We have number 2, We have literary devices. Number 3 is your reaction or reaction. Number 4 is the author's intention. And lastly, 5, it is a context. Okay class, who got the perfect score? Okay, very good. Group 2, let us clap our hands. Very good class. And for your assignment class, directions. Read the song Paraiso, critic it using the 6 guidelines in critiquing a short story. Write it in one whole sheet of paper. Am I clear, class? Very good. That's all for today, class. Thank you for your participation.